અહીંયા ખૂણામાં કંઈક આવ્યું હતું ને
પણ એ નથી આ વખતે.
નથી આવતું.
Yes, we are beginning the prarthana now.
જો જય.
Om.
Somebody is trying to give you instruction.
Hello? Yeah, but like we can correct it. Yesterday also we were in Zoom and the same thing happened. I know some speakers off. Speakers, where is the where it could be down there.
નથી થઈ meeting.
Yeah, he thought that he will turn off and do it again. So there is a yeah. That's what we are trying to do. Okay, thanks so much. Bye bye.
Yeah, okay. Now please be quiet.
Again.
The prayer. So please cool down yourself.
કેટલી વાર ક્લિક કર્યું launch meeting?
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tasvina Vaditamastu Ma
3 વાર અહીં ક્લિક કર્યું.
Shanti Shanti
અહીંથી કરીને ફરીથી કરો એમ.
એ તો હમણાં ના થાય, એ તો જ્યારે સ્ક્રીન આવે
Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena
meeting starts, then you can do it. અત્યારે ના આવે.
Tasmai Sri
આની વાત અહીંયા
હા, પણ અહીંયા કાંઈ ન આવે અત્યારે.
આ ઝૂમ માં કરો તો ક્યાં આવે? ઓકે, હવે
Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Deva Maheshwara, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Stavaram Jangamam Vyaptam Yatkinchit Chacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Chinmayam Vyapityata Sarvam Trilokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Hari Om Sri Gurupyo Namah Hari Om. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayana Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamrita Varshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashaadhyayinim Amba Tamanusandadami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshinim Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stuvanti Devaihi Stavaihi Vedaihi Sangha Padakramopanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyana Avasthita Tad Gatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam Navidu Surasura Devaya Tasmai Namaha Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shucha. So with this end of the prayer, we will go into our short dhyan, and after that we will begin our usual Gita's narratives. So let's begin our dhyan thing. And I will wake you up. Om. 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 We are in chapter 6. Dhyana Yoga is the label of the chapter. Some people may have different labels, that's okay. As we mentioned some time earlier, that Tad Tvam Asi, the three phrases, Tad, the Supreme, Tvam, you, Asi, are, or thou art. These three blocks of 6 chapters, 6, 6, and 6, completes the Gita's promise that Tattvamasi is the summarization of the entire Gita in the 3 blocks of 6 chapters. We want to a little bit examine here because we are in the first part of that first block of that 6th chapter, and we are at the end of the first block. Are we moving into? On September 12, in my first lecture, we began with the notion of Sankhya. Thousands of years ago, there were tremendous efforts. What is the constituent of any creature, or particularly human being? And they can see the body, they can also feel mind, and maybe a little bit of intellect. And after that, things are not tangible, but they knew, because there is a difference between a live person and a dead person. So they knew that there is something definitely there. That is the small self and the big self. The big self is Advaita, who is everywhere. He is so fine, he is so refined. He is everywhere. You think about any tangible objects, even at the beach, at ocean, the piece of stone, he is breathing as intensely as he is breathing in you. Hard to believe. But the reason I'm giving you this a little bit of touchy background, because in chapter 6, he's moving in that direction. Very gently, he is going to drag us to that big self, the Advaita. And he's so gentle. For example, he begins with Anasritaha karma phalam. Very understandable stanza. Renounce the karma phala, desire. Very tangible statement. We can understand that. And here he make the unification of a sannyasi and the karma yogi. They are the same people, he says. One cannot be yogi without renouncing the desires. The sannyasi also has to renounce that desire. And then he moves on. and we will gently move on. I'm going to walk again in stanza 1 through 6 hurriedly, just to have the connectivity. In the first stanza, I'm going to leave one quiz for you. He says, anasritaha. Why did he not say nirasritaha? And the reason I am throwing this quiz, the word choice in each stanza is so precise. You cannot remove this anasrit by any similar thing. Try nirasrit and see what happens. Don't open the dictionary, please. They are understandable phrases. Each stanza have selected chosen phrases, so precise, so tight, you cannot move here and there. You cannot become Pandit and try to replace and say, oh, I will come up with a better phrase here. Try that. Impossible. Then there would be Sandhi, is to bring the rhythm. Sandhi, Samas, bring the rhythm. There is Chand, and in a few stanzas we are going to see Upma Alankar also. Even without going to the divine message, the physical stanza itself has a tons of literary impact, if you can visualize that. And I do want you to see that, to enjoy that. First you enjoy that. When you meet an unknown person, and if he or she is very handsome, beautiful person, after that, when the person starts speaking, and in addition to the good looking, if the person is deeply wise and knowledgeable, you will be touched. These stanzas have similarity. Very beautiful structure, unbelievable. And therefore my recommendation, even though you don't know Sanskrit, that's okay. Just read the stanza more times than you read the translation. There is absolutely no need for a person. If a person is European, another story. But if a person is an Indian and speaking any Indian language, he will have no difficulty in understanding each word of the stanza. And the light and the penetration is so much powerful that you will miss in any translation. You will see that. So far, in many translations, so far, nobody is close to the original Sanskrit stanza. And that is one of the emphasis. If I have any power, or I have any advice or right to advise, I will stop publishing these translations, except for European people who don't know anything about Indian languages. But for Indians, no. Shame. Sorry about that. There were a lot of lectures on the Sanskrit language. They say, oh, Kabir did not study Sanskrit. There are a lot of intellectuals in the world. They like to throw logic, like in the court, the attorney. That person arguing does not know, however, that Kabir was a big Pandit in his previous incarnations. He has gone through that, which you don't know. Which you don't know. Narsi Mehta's bhajans, tons of people have done PhDs in Narsi Mehta's bhajans. Shame on them. They should have just found who was Narsi in his previous incarnation. Nothing comes out of nothing, believe me. If people are doing PhDs on Narsi Mehta's bhajans, he's way beyond PhD. Why does he have to read Sanskrit? So don't argue. Please stop arguing. Just catch the point and move on. Okay, so he's moving with stanza number 1, and because I'm going to stanza number 7, I just want to kind of catch some of the essence of the previous stanzas. Second stanza says that without becoming sannyasi, renouncing the desires, one cannot become yogi. He's kind of trying to prove that yogi and sannyasi are only synonyms, they are the same. Then he is again using the third stanza. One who is a beginner, for him, karma is the means, sadhan. And one who is already there, for him, serenity is the sadhan. This arurukshuhu is a marvelous word. If you have seen in India, in the small villages, when they train the new calf before they join on the regular cart, they make a mechanism without the wheels and join that calf with a trained older bull. So the older bull will maintain the motion and the small calf will learn. He's called Aruruksuhu. That small calf, he's learning. That other bullock, he's Yogaruda, means he's already there. He doesn't have to learn anything. So there are marvelous, potent meaning hidden in the words here. Fourth stanza is pressing that a person is not playing with the senses and nor is too much in the action either. And he is then defined as completely in yoga. Okay, this from stanza number 5, the real show begins. All that nitty-gritty he was talking about until stanza 4, he's throwing that away, and this is where the essence of the dhyan coming. Why do we have difficulty? And from 5, 6, 7, he is going to talk about that. Uddaret atmana atmanam. Hey, તારે કોઈની જરૂર નથી. જે પેલો બિગ સેલ્ફ છે તેનો ટેકો લઈને નાના સેલ્ફને ઊભો કર, બેઠો કર. ઉદ્ધરેત, સપોર્ટ. ઉદ્ધરેત આત્મના, with the big self, atmanam, small self. And then the second phrase, na atmanam avasadayet. Avasadayet, with na. એ તારા એ સ્મોલ આત્માને, તારા સ્મોલ સેલ્ફને નીચો નહીં પડવા દઈશ. What a marvelous thing. You don't need books. You don't need anybody's lecture. It is there already in you. Later on, he is going to show how to do dhyan and all in a little bit more elaboration. But here he is preparing in stanza number 5. Then he says, Atma eva hi atmanaha bandhuhu. ये जे big self છે, તે જે નાના self નો મિત્ર છે, friend છે, બંધુ. Anybody who want to do dhyan have to read this stanza number 5 maybe million times. And million times when I say does not necessarily mean literally. That phrase is used for emphasis, for clarity, that there is a big self there. You don't visualize, you are never going to visualize. You don't even visualize the small self who departs. So hey, follow that Sankhya philosophy. Body, mind, intellect, these are the transient ingredients in you. There are two perpetual, eternal. The small self and the big self. And you are going to meditate on them. So this is stanza number 5. And then he warns that your big self is your friend also, and he is your enemy also. It all depends on how you approach. Don't blame him. Don't blame him, please. Don't blame him. So these 5 and 6 stanzas are the core instruction for dhyana. And now I'm going into number 7. That is the stanza we left. Jitatmanaha. Jita atmanaha. Atmanaha Chatti Vibhakti. Of the person, of the Atman who has conquered, who has won with the big Atma. Prasantasya Paramatma Samahitaha. Prashant, serene, and the big self, Samahitaha, is well balanced. So the hierarchy, the small self and the big self is now in tune with each other. The small self does not feel lonely. This is the problem. When we go to dhyan, we feel lonely. That's why we go bahyan. We miss the guy who is tightly sitting with us. Tightly. And we go outside. This disease need to be cured by proper information, proper gnan, and he's giving us enough here. Shitosna sukha dukhesu tatha mana pumanayoho. That person, that Atma who has conquered or who has attained the big self, who has become very serene, who has the big self totally balanced, for him, sukha dukhesu or mana apamanayo. This is where the Buddhism coming. ભિક્ષા માગવા જાઓ પણ કોઈ દંડો મારે તો તમારે બોલવાનું નથી. Why બોલવાનું નથી? Because that is an outstanding opportunity to test yourself that your small self is with the big self. That is a testing. That is a good exam. So in society also we will have good and bad experiences. That is just your testing. Nana vignana truptatma kutastha. You know this kutastha? Like sitting like a stone, kutastha. Gnana vignana truptatma. Extremely saturated with wisdom and knowledge. Vijitendriya, conquered the senses. The senses don't fool around now anymore. Yukta iti uchyate yogi samalostasma kanchanaha. Then he is said to be yogi, who has the lump of clay, stone, and kanchan, gold. Doesn't matter. He has become a physicist. He sees only electron, proton, and neutron. He doesn't see as a lump of clay or a piece of gold and rush and pick up from the ground if he find one. No. And another stanza coming that this characteristic is exhibited not in the presence of other people, because then one may be doing this action to show off. No, when he is lonely, nobody's there to see and still possess these qualities. There's a lot of show off in the society, wasting their time. They don't know, wasting their time. Sruhad, this Suhrud, Hrud etle heart, Hriday, and Su means good. Suhrud is a damn good word here. Suhrud, person with a good heart. Suhrud Mitra, friend. Ari, enemy, Dushman. Udasin means who is not either way. He is just kind of unattached. Madhyastha, somebody who is an arbitrator. When there is a problem between two people and the person become an arbitrator, that is called Madhyastha. Dveshya Vabandhusu. Dveshya means somebody who has hatred. And Bandhushu means Sagawala. Sadhuhu apicha, sadhushu apicha, papeshu samabuddhihi vishishyate. આ બધાની વચ્ચે his buddhi, his behavior is not differentiable, is the same attitude. That is what it says. So there are some of the characteristics also described here. They are the measure of the person, how far he is into this business. Yogi yunjita satat atmanam rahasi sthitaha ekaki yachittatma nirashir aparigraha. Stanza number 10. This stanza number 10 has a real potency. Because he is so much yunjita satatam atmanam. Yunjit. So much into. Atmanam rahasi sthitaha ekaki yachittatma nirashira aparigraha. Nirashire, એને કોઈ desire નથી. Aparigraha. Whatever he needs, that's all. Nothing more than that. Ekaki, he is lonely, he is alone now. Actually, he is not alone. Ekaki is in reference to the world. So now he is alone, world-wise. But spiritually, he is with the mighty. Spiritually, he is with Almighty. See the difference here? He has used the phrase ekaki to show that he don't need anybody. He has another friend. And now he is giving a prescription like how to formally, and then I'm going to elaborate a little bit. He says, Suchau dese. Suchau is Satmi Vibhakti of Suchi. Clean Jagyae. Suchi means clean. Desau means place. Clean Jagyae Pratisthapya. Sthiram Asanam Atmanaha. Atmanaha means Potanu. Potanu Asan. કોઈ ચોખ્ખી જગ્યાએ બનાવવું, પ્રતિષ્ઠાપ્ય બનાવવું. કેવું બનાવવું? ન અતિ ઉચ્છ્રિતમ, વધારે ઊંચું પણ નહીં. ન અતિ નીચમ, વધારે નીચું પણ નહીં. પછી શેનું બનાવવું? ચૈલ, કાપડ. અજીન, લેધર પીસ. કુશો, કુશહ, ઘાસ. ઉત્તરમ, એકબીજાની ઉપર મૂકીને આવું આસન બનાવવું. I was one time looking Swami Chinmayananda's Gita. That was my first Gita, maybe about 40 some years ago. And I still sometime to consult, I flip pages. And I flip pages for this stanza, number 11. And he supported me. I was delighted when I read. He wrote that this is a little bit overkill stanza. Overkill in the sense that if you are riding in a car, somebody else is driving, and if you have tons of practice going into dhyan, no matter outside may be heat, nobody, it doesn't matter, other passengers are loudly talking if you are carpooling, and you will still go in dhyan. There is no chailajina kushaha uttaram there. કોઈ ગાડી બનાવેલી નથી. And I have a couple of examples to substantiate that. One was Maharishi Arvind was in the Samadhi in horse and buggy every day. And another, somebody just have to say, Jai Ramji ki to Ram Krishna Paramhans, and he may be sailing across the river in a boat. And a couple of people have to be ready. He's now going in Samadhi, falling down. So this is good. It is a formal way of where in jungle, in forest, thousands of years ago, the way they used to go into meditation, there would be a lot of kirina, rafada thai jata. So that was that. And they were doing this way very formally into Samadhi for a long time. Okay. Then what do you do on that little asan? Tatra ekagram manaha krutva yachittendriya kriyaha. ત્યાં મનને એકાગ્ર કરીને બધી સેન્સીસને કંટ્રોલ કરીને ઉપવિશ્યાસને બેસીને યુંજયાત યોગમ આત્મવિશુદ્ધયે ત્યાં આત્માની શુદ્ધિ માટે યોગની સાધના કરશે એકાંત જગ્યાએ બધી સેન્સીસને કંટ્રોલ કરીને. So he is also giving some instruction how to do that. One more thing coming in that line, samam kaya shiro grivam. Samam kaya shirah grivam dharayan achalam sthirah. Keeping the body erect, the head straight and the neck without moving. Samprekshya nasikagram, keeping the gaze at the tip of the nose. Swam dishahacha na avalokayan. Na avalokayan. This is a marvelous word. પછી આજુબાજુ અવલોકન નહીં કરવા જવાનું બેઠા પછી. what a guy, he's writing. I mean, he's using also the regular people words. અવલોકન એટલે આમ તેમ કંઈ થતું છે કે નહીં તે જોવા પાછું પ્રયત્ન કરવાનો. તે પણ એને કહી દીધું કે ના, એ અવલોકન ફવલોકનની વાત નહીં કરવાની, બેઠા એટલે બેઠા, So look at this, how meticulous he is going. Prasantatma vigatabihi brahmachari vrate sthitah. Prasanta atma, serene, cool down atma. Vigatabihi, there is no fear. Vigata, gone is the fear. Brahmachari vrate sthitaha. This phrase is many times narrowly defined, but it has more general meaning. A person in a person who is charati, vihar karo, charati, in Brahma, તેને દુનિયાની કોઈ બીજી વસ્તુ સાથે પડી નથી. એ બ્રહ્મની અંદર ચરણ કરે છે. બ્રહ્મ સિવાય એને કંઈ દેખાતું પણ નથી, સૂઝતું પણ નથી. સુજાડવા જાય તોય એની બુદ્ધિ બેર મારી ગયેલી છે. That is the real meaning of brahmachari vrate. Manah sanyamya macchittah yuktah asit matparah. Some of my friends, they argue, કૃષ્ણની ગીતામાં હંમેશા એ પોતાનું જ બણગું ફૂંક્યા કરે છે, મારે શરણે આવો, મારામાં ચિત રાખો. એ પંડિતોને ખબર નથી કે થોડી વારમાં અદ્વૈત બતાવવાનો છે. તે બોલે છે. એ બે પગવાળો બે હાથવાળો કૃષ્ણ નથી બોલતો. તે નથી એ લોકોને ખબર. અજ્ઞાનીઓને માફ કરવા સારા. Maybe one or two stanza we will go on. Yunjan evam sadatmanam yogi niyatamanasah Santim nirvana paramam matsthanam adhigacchati. જોયું એનું પ્રોમિસ જે છે તે, his promise. આહાહા. matsthanam adhigacchati. This Sanskrit verb gam gacha is a beautiful thing. Right here there is adhi prefix. There are a lot of prefixes that go with gam gacha. Anugacchati is following. Anu. Avagacchati, ignore. Adhigacchati, obtain. So look at this beauty. Gam gaccha means javu, to go. And from go, there are about 12 prefixes one day I count. and they will change drastically the meaning of the root verb. That is also another beauty you want to enjoy, that with a little bit of tweaking, the whole meaning is gone, you know. So he says, mat sansthanam adhigacchati. He attains Marusthan. What is his sthan? That is nirvana he is talking about. Mat sansthanam means nirvana. So he says, keeping himself ever steadfast in this manner. That is the first line. The yogi of subdued mind, niyatamanasa, subdued mind, attains the peace abiding in me, nirvana paramam, matsthanam adhigacchati, culminating in nirvana. So he is kind of summarizing what is the result of the true samadhi. So look here, there are stages. From the temporary compartment, body, mind, and intellect, the temporary compartment, by the way he was showing here up to this stanza 15, if you move into the permanent compartment, the small self into the big self, Dhyan is the beginning stage, very elementary. It's like kindergarten માં એકડો ચિતરવા જેવું છે. એકડો. તમે ધ્યાનમાં જો વિચારો બંધ થઈ ગયા તમારા, 30 seconds, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, as long as you want. That is just એકડો ચિતરવા જેટલી stage તમે પ્રાપ્ત કરી. You have achieved એકડો. What is remaining then? The second stage would be you would forget that you are in dhyana. You don't know even. You don't know you are in dhyana. You just don't know. And that is bagro. When you don't know in dhyana that you are doing dhyana, my friend, you are moving in the right direction. Try that and see that you forget that you are in dhyana. ધ્યાનમાં છે એ જ ખબર નથી તો બીજી બધી પંચાયતીઓ ક્યાંથી આવવાની? પંચાયતીઓનો ક્લાસ નથી. દરવાજા બંધ થઈ ગયા એના. દરવાજા બંધ થઈ ગયા. દરવાજા બંધ થઈ ગયા. એ small guy is going to meet the big guy. I'm not going to describe the other layers. You want to experience these 2 layers first. Even the 2 layers even the 2 layers, will bring you a megaton of confidence. Megaton, I use the phrase. You have never seen that level of strength. Megaton. So Gita is not a book to read. It's not a book to read. Not to read. After a while, you will see you are not reading it. You are swimming into it. Swim. Swim. I will see what is the next stanza. This is a marvelous stanza, and we will stop at here also after I read it. Na ati asnataha. Oh, ખાતો પણ ના હોય. न च एकांतम अनस्नतः. તેમ વળી એકાંતમાં જઈને ખાવાનું બંધ કરી દે. એક જણ ખાયા જ કરે, બીજો ખાવાનું બંધ કરી દે, ઉપવાસ ઉપર ઉતરી પડ્યો. તેની વોર્નિંગ છે અહીંયા આગળ. બહુ ખાવાનું પણ નહીં અને બહુ ઉપવાસ પણ નહીં કરવા. ન ચ અતિ સ્વપ્નશીલસ્ય. વળી બહુ ઊંઘવાનું પણ નહીં. લોકો બપોરે ખાઈને ઊંઘી જાય, વળી સાંજ પડે પાછા ઊંઘે. They use the phrase, oh, જરા nap લીધો. There are a lot of terminologies. Jagratah na eva cha Arjuna. આવા જે માણસો જે છે એના લક્ષણો ગણાવેલા છે. બહુ ખાતો હોય, ના ખાતો હોય, બહુ ઊંઘતો હોય, બહુ ના ઊંઘતો હોય, એવાને યોગની સાધના નકામી છે. જો કેટલું બધું કંટ્રોલ કરવાનું છે તે. તો આપણે એવું કરીએ, હવે અહીંયા આગળ થંભી જઈએ અને if you have any question, we will address that. So who is going to begin now? Nobody? Come on, I have spare some time for that, you know. Yes, Sanat Bhai.
There is a family group that we are part of, and we meet every other week, and we read and talk about Gita as much as we can understand. But currently we are in the 14th chapter, and one of the words in Sloka that we came across was Mahat. And Mahat was used in a way which, at least to me, gave the understanding that it is the same as Prakriti. Can you explain this, please?
For the connectivity, I think I can explain, no problem.
Yeah, you can please explain.
But what we can do is And we hold off until we go that stage and do proper justice.
Whatever you feel.
Reason behind
Yeah.
this Gita has a flow. So there is a tremendous amount of connectivity. And if I start going explaining into, there will be another disconnectivity follow with that, you know. What I can do is I can privately call you sometime and I will explain you so the distraction would not happen.
We
Is that okay with you, Sanat Bhai?
No, that's fine. Thank you.
I will, what is the best time to call you? Like between 8 and 9 sometime in the evening?
9, you mean 9 o'clock at night
in
in
the
the
evening,
morning?
yeah, in the evening, 8 o'clock.
9 in the evening is
Okay.
very, very fine, very
No, no.
convenient.
He
If
said,
I will try
8 to 9 anytime, sure.
8 to 9. I will try more likely sometime today. And it is in chapter 14, you say?
Yeah.
we won't be home at 8 o'clock or so. We are going to our daughter's place. So maybe tomorrow will be better.
Yeah, tomorrow. I will call tomorrow then.
Yeah. અને હવે છે ને આ જે મહત પ્રકૃતિની વાત કરે છે એ શ્લોક ગોતી રાખશું તો જસ્ટ and then we can email you so that you know what.
No, you don't have to email. That's okay. I know the sloka and everything.
All right, that's good. Yeah. Thank
The
you.
the problem is I don't want to go into a disconnected situation. So I will privately chat with you then.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Not a problem. So maybe, so you said tomorrow, I will call you tomorrow between 8 and 9.
That's fine. That's fine.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Somebody else now? Okay, look like there is nobody there. So I would do the closing prayer. And closing prayer, before I close the session, the Sanskrit friends, please just hang on 2 minutes. I have just to tell you something for the following class. Okay, so the closing prayer. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramayaha sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukha bhag bhavet asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityor ma mritam gamaya Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Okay, so here is the end of our session. However, I would just chat a couple minutes with the Sanskrit friends. So please hang around and I'm stopping the recording.